What happens when the Lost Boys finally turn the tables on Boy Kavalier? Did Wendy really gain control of the xenomorphs, or is she playing with fire that's bound to burn her later? And what about that shocking twist on the beach with Arthur's corpse? Did we just witness the birth of a whole new kind of monster? And what's up with Eins revealing himself as Boy's first synthetic creation, the so-called new daddy, who might actually be the most dangerous being on the island?
Add to that Morrow's brutal face-off with Kirsh, Dame Sylvia's haunting grief, and Wendy's chilling declaration that now we rule, and you've got a finale that's less a conclusion and more a terrifying beginning.
Welcome back to Your Nerdy Show. I'm your host, Spoiler Master, and today we're diving deep into the explosive finale of Alien Earth. We're going to break down everything that happened in Episode 8, The Real Monster, from Wendy and Joe's clash of ideals, to Boy Kavalier's downfall, to the fate of the xenomorphs, and of course, that cliffhanger ending that sets the stage for Season 2. So let's recap, unpack, and explain the madness of Alien Earth's finale. The opening chaos. The finale kicks off with a haunting image, the xenomorph discovering Arthur's decaying body. It's a reminder that death and rebirth are constant themes in this show. At the same time, Dame Sylvia is quietly mourning at the children's graves, and before she can even grieve in peace, the alien shows up. But instead of a bloody kill, Prodigy's security team intervenes, shooting at the creature and driving it away. This moment sets the tone. The alien isn't just a monster anymore. It's part of the environment, circling, waiting, influencing the story rather than driving it outright. Meanwhile, inside the Prodigy complex, the cracks are showing. Eins updates Boy Kavalier that the island's comms are down. Weyland-Yutani is closing in, and Prodigy forces are being slaughtered. Eins suggests evacuation, but Boy Kavalier refuses. Instead, he's watching old footage of Marcy's transformation into Wendy, lost in obsession. The camera lingers on the sheep containing the T-ocellus parasite, and Boy whispers to it like a confidant. Already, you know something is going to burst loose.
But I think they should be afraid of us.
Wendy's planned. Wendy and Joe, locked in separate cells, both brood over their situation. Joe is thinking about responsibility, about who he can still save. But Wendy is working on something different, fear. When Nibs calls them all ghosts, Wendy latches on to the idea. If they're ghosts, then it's time to make the humans fear them. She begins to chitter, an eerie sound that catches Boy Kavalier's attention on the cameras. His eyes widen in fascination, but before he can act, systems across the complex start to fail.
Kirsh, down in the lab, realizes Weyland-Yutani is on their way, but instead of preparing for evacuation, Boy Kavalier rages.
He doesn't want to run, he wants the fight. He tells the sheep with the alien eye parasite that he's about to feed it someone weak, and that's when you know Boy is spiraling into full villain mode.
You're gonna kill him. Don't touch me.
Joe and Morrow. Meanwhile, Joe is stuck in his cell with Morrow, who regains consciousness. Morrow has always been a half-human, half-machine warning sign, and here he drives that point home. Being more than human has a cost. Everything has a price. He warns Joe that he better save the kids fast because he plans to burn everything down. This conversation is a big turning point for Joe. He doesn't want destruction, he wants salvation, and that difference is what keeps him tethered to humanity, even when Wendy and the Lost Boys are drifting towards something much darker. The Lost Boys take control. Wendy begins using her powers to manipulate Prodigy's tech. She tricks the security team with false elevator feeds and messes with their heads. At the same time, she opens Joe's cell remotely, letting him loose. Morrow lashes out immediately, nearly killing a guard. But Joe restrains him. "I'm going to save the ones I can," he says. It's Joe's declaration of purpose. But while Joe is trying to protect, Wendy is out for control. When Boy Kavalier visits the Lost Boys, he taunts them with the story of his father, an abusive drunk he killed as a child, replacing him with the first synthetic. It's a chilling confession. Boy has been broken from the start, raised by machines of his own making, and now he clings to power like it's oxygen. The Lost Boys finally snap. Nibs takes out Boy's bodyguard with brutal punches, and Wendy orders Boy to run. For once, he does. The balance of power shifts in that moment. The children are no longer victims. They're the hunters. Synth versus Cyborg. The other big showdown happens in the lab, where Morrow faces off against Kirsh. It's a brutal fight, a clash of ideologies as much as bodies. Synthetic perfection versus human-machine hybrid. Morrow breaks Kirsh's back, but just when it seems like he's won, the fight turns. The distraction of another alien escaping allows Kirsh to choke him out. This duel is messy, ugly, and unresolved. Neither truly wins, and both are left broken. It's a perfect metaphor for alien Earth as a whole. Humans, machines, and hybrids, all struggling for dominance, none able to truly triumph. Wendy versus Adam Eins. The climax comes when Adam Eins takes Joe to Boy Kavalier's office. The sheep is gone, the alien eye parasite is loose, and tension is high. The parasite lunges for Joe, but Wendy arrives just in time to rip it away. Adam Eins then reveals himself as the synthetic boy built as a child. He's not just a servant, he's Boy's surrogate father, protector, and weapon. Adam knocks Wendy and Joe down easily, proving just how unstoppable he is. But Wendy isn't powerless. She freezes Adam in place with her mind, demonstrating just how dangerous she's become. Joe tries to reconcile with her, apologizing about Nibs, but Wendy isn't interested in forgiveness. She admits she doesn't know what she is, but she knows she's not powerless anymore. This is the moment Wendy fully embraces her role as leader. She's no longer the victim of Prodigy's experiments. She's the one holding the leash, even on beings as dangerous as Adam Eins. Boy Kavalier's downfall. While all this is happening, Boy Kavalier is stumbling through the ruins of his empire. His soldiers are being ripped apart by the Xenomorph, and finally, the creature corners him. But Wendy interrupts, summoning the alien to kill Boy's men instead. She isn't interested in revenge just yet. She's interested in power. The alien obeys, slaughtering the troops, and in that moment, Wendy proves she can weaponize even the universe's most terrifying predator. Meanwhile, the other Lost Boys are taking down Prodigy's security staff, proving their dominance across the island. Siberian is devoured by the plant-like alien. Rashidi is knocked out, and Curly betrays the adults completely. On the beach, the Teocellus eye parasite finally finds a host, Arthur's corpse. He sits up, reanimated, zombie-like, setting the stage for a whole new kind of horror in Season 2.
Now we rule.
Now we rule. The final scenes of the episode bring it all together. Wendy has gathered the captives, Boy Kavalier, Kirsh, Morrow, Adam Eins, and Dame Sylvia. The once powerful adults are caged, humiliated, powerless. Wendy delivers the final blow, declaring that Boy isn't Peter Pan at all. He's just a bitter, hateful man. She claims control not just over the Lost Boys, but over the entire island. As the adult and baby Xenomorph crawl over the cell, she says the chilling words, "Now we rule." And that's where the season ends. A cliffhanger, not a conclusion. Let's be honest, this wasn't a traditional finale. Instead of tying up storylines, the real monster cracks them open wider. Wendy rules, but what does that mean? Joe is conflicted, torn between his humanity and his sister's growing ruthlessness. Boy Kavalier, Kirsh, and Morrow are alive, battered but not beaten. And the Xenomorph threat hasn't gone away. It's been leashed for now. This isn't a conclusion, it's a pause. a setup for season 2. And that's both exciting and frustrating. Exciting because the potential is enormous. Frustrating because we'll likely be waiting years before we see what happens next. Strength of the finale. On a technical level, Alien Earth continues to shine. The visuals are gorgeous, with dreamlike fades between scenes that give the whole episode a nightmarish quality. The acting is phenomenal. Timothy Olyphant's Kirsh and Babu Cisse's Morrow leave strong impressions, while Samuel Blanken cements Boy Kavalier as one of the most complex villains in the franchise. Even the Lost Boys, who started off a bit goofy, come into their own. Smee in particular shines as a loyal, terrified child soldier caught between innocence and brutality. The themes are sharp too. Boy Kavalier embodies the idea that capitalism itself is the real monster. The exploitation, the commodification, the endless hunger for control. Wendy, meanwhile, represents something even scarier. The exploited becoming the exploiter. The abused becoming the abuser. But for all its strengths, the finale has flaws. Wendy's control over the xenomorphs feels wrong to many Alien fans. These creatures have always been terrifying because they can't be tamed, and yet here they're treated like her attack dogs. It undercuts their menace and makes Wendy feel a bit too invincible. The action, too, feels muted. After all the build-up, we only get glimpses of xenomorph carnage. For a franchise that prides itself on brutal mayhem, it feels like a missed opportunity. And then there's the lack of stakes. After Arthur's death, none of the main cast dies. For a finale, that feels odd, especially in a universe built on brutal survival.
You're not Peter Pan. He was the boy who never...
Unanswered questions. So what are we left with? Plenty of unanswered questions. What exactly has the Teocellus parasite become now that it's inside Arthur's body? Will Wendy truly be able to control the xenomorphs long term, or will they eventually turn on her? What role will Joe play now that he's caught between protecting humanity and following his sister's ruthlessness? How much does Weyland-Yutani know, and what will they do when they arrive? And is Boy Kavalier really finished, or will he find a way to turn captivity into another form of power?
Run.
Our nerdy thoughts. Alien Earth's finale isn't perfect, but it's undeniably ambitious. Instead of giving us closure, it leaves us with a bold new direction.
Wendy as ruler, the Lost Boys in charge, Boy caged, Arthur reanimated, and the xenomorphs still prowling. It's messy, it's frustrating, and it's brilliant in its own way. Noah Hawley isn't interested in giving us an alien story we've seen before. He's pushing the franchise into strange, unsettling new territory. Whether you loved the finale or hated it, one thing is certain: Alien Earth has made its mark. And if Season 2 gets greenlit, it could reshape the Alien franchise for years to come. So that's how Alien Earth left us.
Wendy on the throne, Boy Kavalier caged, and Arthur somehow walking again with an alien parasite in his body. But the big questions remain. Can Wendy really control the xenomorphs, or will they eventually turn on her? What is Weyland-Yutani planning when they finally arrive? And is Joe destined to stand beside his sister or against her? One thing's for sure, this story is only just beginning.
No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.